congrès électif extraordinaire.
I will call an extraordinary
Cette décision
Congress and
prendra
put
effet
at
le plus tôt
disposal
possible, à
my
savoir la date à
function.
laquelle un nouveau président
It is going
pourra
to
être
be held as
choisi
soon
pour
as
le
possible,
congrès de la
and a
FIFA
new
pour me
president will be
succéder.
elected to follow me.
The world of soccer shocked again today. Embattled FIFA president Sepp Blatter says he's going to resign just a few days after he was reelected for a fifth term. I'm Carolyn Costello in New York. FIFA is embroiled in a corruption scandal and Blatter right in the middle of it. Let's bring in ESPN sports business reporter Darren Ravel. Darren, a few days ago, Blatter moves forward with re-election. He gets re-elected despite calls for him to resign. Then just a few days later, he steps down. Shocking revelation. What could possibly be happening here?
Well, it is shocking, especially, Carolyn, given the confidence that Sepp Blatter had, almost the cockiness to avoid not only a PR disaster, but some of his lieutenants being involved in a federal indictment. So there's a lot of shock here. Sources telling ABC News' Josh Margolin that he was indeed, Sepp Blatter, investigated or being investigated. We don't know what's going on exactly right now, but by the FBI and by U.S. prosecutors. So the question kind of is, what did he learn? And you'd have to think, given the confidence that he had, at least outwardly showed, what did he learn or what was he told that made him step down? A guy who people thought he would somehow finish his 4-year term, and he didn't finish 4 days. We don't know the answer to that question, but given, again, his arrogance, his cockiness, it must have been something pretty solid.
Do you think, pressure from sponsors had anything to do with this? They contribute at all?
It could be. These are some of the most massive sponsorships in the world. The top sponsors of FIFA paying between $25 and $45 million a year. The World Cup sponsors under that paying FIFA between $10 and $25 million a year. What really caught me off guard was Visa. Visa came out with an original statement after the indictment saying that this was unacceptable and they needed FIFA to make immediate changes. And then when I asked Visa for a second comment after Sepp Blatter's re-election, they said they didn't have one, which was surprising to me given that they came out stronger than any other sponsor. So to me, if I were to guess, I would say that if there was any sponsor that would put on the most pressure over the weekend, it might have been Visa. Obviously, their business is connected to financial dealings in the financial business, and a lot of this was financial fraud. Again, not connected to Sepp Blatter because he's not named in the indictment, but connected to him given that it's FIFA. So I would say there were certainly discussions given the dollar amount and the embarrassment on the sponsors as a result of the FIFA situation.
Will Blatter's resignation help put FIFA back on the right track, or is he just sort of the tip of the iceberg?
Well, the question is, how many bad apples are there? This is not just one guy. As the indictment proves, there were, or at least alleges, there were 9 people within FIFA, 4 other sports marketing people related to FIFA and the soccer tournaments that they award and the marketing deals that they do. So to say that, this is done now. We have the resignation of Sepp Blatter and the fact that the other people in the indictment are barred from anything close to FIFA. I would not say that this is cleaning house, especially after the U.S. prosecutors said that this was indeed the tip of the iceberg. I think their words were, this is not the end of the investigation, this is the beginning. So I don't think this clears up FIFA in any sense. Does it kind of take away one of the hurdles? A kind of a indignant leader who is cocky and you wouldn't think would be that likely to make a whole lot of changes unless he was pushed to do so? Yes, but does this solve FIFA? No way.
Any idea who might replace Blatter?
Well, the only idea I have is Prince Ali, who seemed to get more votes than people thought, getting over 30% of the vote for that first round of votes, and then he gave in to Blatter so there didn't need to be a second round of elections. Prince Ali, I think, of Jordan is probably one of the best contenders against Blatter that he's ever had over his 5 re-elections. In many terms, many elections that Blatter's had, he hasn't gone up against anyone. He's been unopposed. So that's a guy who doesn't really have any black marks on him, and certainly has at least some support as measured from the vote just 4 days ago.
You mentioned that investigators said this investigation is far from over. Now that Blatter is stepping down, could he himself still face charges?
Yeah, I don't think that's out of the question. Again, we know that per Josh Margolin of ABC News that they at least were at some point investigating him, which doesn't seem like that's any bit of a surprise. What we know right now is that there's been some people who have already pled guilty. A sports marketing executive agreed to give $151 million back, and obviously the people who have been indicted and are now probably talking. You got to think that no bet is off. Leaving the organization would not absolve him from any criminality, you'd think.
ESPN business reporter Darren Ravel, thank you so much. We appreciate it. You can keep up with this story in real time by downloading the ABC News app and storing this story for exclusive updates on the go. I'm Carolyn Costello in New York.